Welcome to Busy Bride 101, wedding planning tips for the bride on the go. And I'm your host, Lisa G. McMillan, wedding and event planner at Exquisite Events and Consulting. Skincare may not be your immediate concern while planning your wedding. However, it's a vital step towards looking your best on one of the most memorable days of your life. With that in mind, I'm thrilled to have beauty expert Brittany Gray, founder of Fancy Face based out of Canada, to provide tips and techniques for brides to incorporate in their skincare routine. Welcome to the show, Brittany.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Let's start with the basics. Rinsing your face with a splash of water every morning and walking away simply isn't enough to achieve great-looking skin. How do you define clean and healthy skin?
I think that skin that is treated with the utmost care is how I define healthy skin. I think skin that is nourished from the inside out and the outside in is also how I define it, with nutrients and ingredients that one feels is of the best quality. I also see healthy skin as that is embraced. I don't think it always needs to meet what, those unrealistic beauty standards are. I see beauty in imperfections, and I see beauty also in really honing in on finding your own glow.
Oh, finding your own glow. I love that. Well, as a bride is looking in the mirror, envisioning that stunning glow on her wedding day, what should she do to begin prepping her skin?
I think it's really important to, I would say a year in advance to your wedding, or, whenever you're proposed to and those plans get in place, to really discover products that make your skin feel its best. I think sometimes you do have to do some searching for the right type of product for you. But finding products that have really nourishing ingredients that help with reducing redness, skin quenching ingredients. I think it's really important to start finding those capsule items in your skincare routine. And then from there, I do think it's wise to enlist in a skincare expert, an esthetician, who can offer suggestions when it comes to treatments that you should maybe be doing a year to 6 months in advance to your wedding. Something like a microdermabrasion facial, a hydrofacial, which will really help to slough off any sort of dead skin on the surface of the skin that can really reduce that glow that we were discussing previously, and also help to remove those dead skin cells so that those nutrients and those ingredients that you're putting on your skin on a daily basis can really penetrate deeply into the skin's epidermis.
For those brides who've never had a professional facial, what can they expect to receive?
I think it's something that it's different depending on what esthetician you go to. So I would really recommend doing your research and finding someone who you really connect with. I personally love to go and get hydrofacials because it's kind of like a microdermabrasion treatment, but it's a lot more soothing and calming and hydrating on the skin. It sloughs off the dead skin and then, really helps the skin shine through, the healthy skin shine through. I also love to couple it with an esthetician who offers some massage techniques, and then also will offer recommendations on what you should be doing and using moving forward as well.
The routine that I use is something so archaic. I'm going to go ahead and just be very authentic with you right now. And I want you to be able to just walk me through some of my do's and don'ts, because I'm sure I am not the only one who does this. But when I'm wearing makeup for the day and I'm taking off that makeup for the evening, my routine is very simple. Baby oil for my mascara removal, cold cream to remove the makeup, and then wiping the face with my cloth and using a toner, and then a moisturizer. Help me, Brittany, get me out of my rut. Fix me.
First of all, that routine is incredibly charming and so sweet, and I would love to help. So What I like to do in the evenings especially is I have purchased those cloths that are kind of like a makeup erase cloth. So if you Google them, there's lots of different brands that offer them. But they're almost like a microfiber cloth that helps to remove makeup even with just warm water. And what you can do is you can saturate that cloth with warm water and gently kind of massage that makeup off with the cloth. A lot of it will remove right away. And then what I love to use is a makeup balm. So there's some different brands out there that have balms on the market where when you rub them to get the balm between your hands and then massage it into the skin, it's an oil base, so that oil will help to break down the makeup on the face. It does not clog pores. They're non-comedogenic, so you don't have to worry about that. It easily slips off the makeup. It doesn't sort of crack or break your lashes, which if you're using, a makeup remover that does not take off the makeup easily, it can really be damaging to your lashes. And then I always recommend a double cleanse. So you can do it first with the makeup balm, and then you can use something like a gel cleanser or a foaming cleanser depending on your skin type, or you can just stick with 2 cleanses with that makeup balm. And then from there, what I really love to do is tone. So you can use something as simple as like a rose water. You can use a glycolic toner, but definitely taking that step to just either mist the face or simply just pour a little bit of witch hazel or rose water in the palms of your hand and just kind of tap your face with it. You don't even need to use a cotton pad. It's just more waste ultimately. And when you put it into the palms of your hands, you're getting all of that product and you're not wasting it in the cotton pad. So that's a really good tip. And then what I like to do next is I personally use at Fancy Face, we have something that's launching called our Poetry and Potion Serum. And it is a 24 karat gold serum that is basically redness reducing, and it really helps to support your skin of today and protect it for tomorrow as well. So I put this all over my skin. I use about 5 to 8 drops depending on what I feel my skin needs. And I just gently press and massage that into the skin, and I always work upwards on the neck. I never drag or pull downwards on the neck. And then from there, I go into our Daydream Rosewater Cream, which is a luxurious treatment moisturizer. It's skin strengthening, it's moisture packed, it's a gel cream. And basically what it helps to do is fortify, nourish, and smooth the skin, leaving it noticeably supple and dewy. So when I put this on the skin, it just gives me that radiance and glow right away. If you're feeling like your skin is very dry, you can always then go into using a face oil. There's a lot of natural face oils on the market that have rosehip oils and just wonderful oils that will help to nourish the skin. You can press that on top, put on your eye cream, and then I always end my routine with our Supermodel Lip Bath, which is basically a lip mask that is infused with collagen, vitamin E, shea butter, and really helps to plump and nourish the lips overnight. So that's my routine, and I know it's pretty involved, but I genuinely feel like these steps make a huge difference in the overall aesthetic of your skin, especially as we age.
Sure, and totally different from what I'm doing right now. But there's so many things that you mentioned in that segment that I want to just tap into. You had me at Poetry and Potion Serum that has the gold flakes. Okay, you had me at gold flakes.
Yes, I know. It's very pretty to look at, but there's also just amazing uses for that 24 karat gold. So what it helps to do is it protects from collagen degradation, and it really helps to enhance the skin's vitality and luminosity as well.
So does it dry very quickly, or do I have to wait maybe a couple of minutes before I put on the luxurious cream moisturizer next?
Yeah, so I don't put much time in between both. What I'll do often is I'll massage it into my skin, and I'll do little massage techniques to depuff, to help with lymphatic drainage, and I'll do that for about a minute at most, and then I'll go into my cream. But you don't necessarily need to pause in between using both. But I do think it's always wise to use just some techniques with your hands to help massage that product into the skin. You can also at that point use a gua sha or a rose quartz roller as well to help the ingredients penetrate deeper into the skin.
And this is something that we can use every day, not on a special occasion. This is a part of my daily routine.
Daily routine. I use it AM and PM. It's recommended for AM and PM. I personally, why we created this is we wanted it to be accessible to all women, affordable, but also the utmost fancy and luxurious as well. So, and I also really wanted to uncomplicate the skincare routine, because as much as there were quite a few steps in what I do, a lot of people use multiple serums and multiple moisturizers, and it gets a whole lot more complicated the more you get into skincare. So I wanted to, and the reason why we called it Poetry and Potion is because the ingredients that are infused together work so poetically that it's really all you need for healthy, glowing skin.
You also mentioned regarding along the neckline, the way that you are using your hands to apply the product.
Yeah, it's in an upward motion. And the only time that you're going to want to come downwards on the neck is if you're working on lymphatic drainage on the outskirts of the neck, because your lymph nodes are kind of tucked, kind of behind your ears and down the neck. And so if you're pressing downwards to sort of drain the lymph nodes, then that's okay. But any other time that you're applying any sort of serum or moisturizer, you're always going to want to be doing sweeping motions up the neck to lift the neck, because you don't want to pull that skin down and create a saggy looking neck. And a lot of people have what we now call tech neck, where those lines in the neck, which I have as well, but they can deepen because of us looking at our phones all the time, looking down. So whenever you have the opportunity to sweep upwards and lift upwards, I would suggest to do it.
And for those brides that are wearing those gowns that are a plunging neckline, can you talk about moisturizing the decolletage area for it to look just as smooth and supple as possible?
For the most part, you want to, as you're blending, so you're going to be blending up the neck, and then when you get to the decolletage, you can sort of just massage it into that area. I also think it's really important to be massaging the product in around the cleavage area as well, because as we age and as we sleep, there can be that creasing and that wrinkling that happens in that area as well. So you basically want to take the serum, the moisturizer, the face oil, and bring it all up the neck and then in and around the decolletage, and make sure that you're really treating that area well and with the utmost care too.
One other thing regarding serums and the cream, one has to work with the other. Just to use a serum is not suggested to be used by itself. You need a moisturizer along with that.
That's correct. You're not going to see the results that you would want if you're not using both of them. And the reason being is that the serum is a lot thinner in its actual texture, so it penetrates a whole lot deeper. But then you obviously want to lock in the moisture as well. So the moisturizer helps to do that. But using them in tandem is really going to help you see the best results.
One of the things that really impressed me about some of the products that you offer is that they're fragrance-free, hypoallergenic, cruelty-free, and paraben-free. Tell me, what was the driver for that for you?
I think for the most part, we really listen to our, I call them supporters instead of followers on social media. We get a lot of feedback. We do a lot of polls. We listen to what women want and create our products based on that feedback. So, and it's also in terms of the vegan aspect as well. It's just something that personally matters to me. The eco-friendliness of our products too also matters to me. And we are considered a small business at this point, but the more that we grow, we just want to continue to tap into those core values that we have.
Store shelves are flooded with gadgets and devices to choose from to enhance or improve anyone's outward appearance. What tools do you recommend including in your beauty bag?
There's a few that I am deeply committed to in my skincare regime. So the first one being gua sha or gua sha. You can hear it different ways, but it basically helps to depuff. It helps with lymphatic drainage, and you can get it in the jade stone form or the rose quartz form. Also, jade rollers, rose quartz rollers are also amazing at helping the products penetrate deep into the skin. I love facial cupping as well. It really helps to bring blood flow to the skin and helps inspire that natural collagen to continue being produced. So those three are my absolute top must-haves when it comes to facial tools.
When I have a bride who may have, let's say, partied just a little too hard the day before her wedding, and that morning she's got the puffy face, she's got puffy eyes, they're red. What are some go-to things that you're going to look at her and be able to say, okay, honey, I can take care of this Let's start here. What are some of the top things that you do?
Yeah, well, the first one is actually the very first product that we ever had, and it's called our Stardust Gel Under Eye Masks. And we created these specifically for that reason, believe it or not. And they are basically, they feel jelly when you kind of touch them, and you place them under the eyes and wear them for about 20 to 30 minutes. And that plush gel-like texture of these under eye masks start to penetrate into the skin. And what they do is they really help to depuff. They help to brighten under the eyes. They have castor oil in them, which really helps to nourish the skin. And when you peel those off after about 20 to 30 minutes, prior to getting your makeup done that day, it just really wakes up the face and helps to, make you look ready for the day. So those are an absolute must-have. Also, I will say that our Poetry and Potion Serum, the anti-redness ingredients in the serum will help to nix any sort of irritation that you have on the skin. But drinking lots of water. I also think it's smart to use ice rollers as well, to just continue to help depuff the skin. So, or if you don't have an ice roller, you believe it or not, you can go into your freezer and just use some ice and sort of gently roll it along the jawline and any areas of the face that are puffy. It will really help to bring down that swelling. And you can also use a cold cloth as well if you want to just, sort of rest it in a bowl of ice water and then put it onto the face after you wring it out. That will help as well.
Could you give an example of something that you do not want a bride to do the week of her wedding, as far as something you just don't want her to do and see on the day when you see her?
Well, I would not suggest getting a sunburn, that's for sure. I've seen a lot of brides that are trying to get tanned prior to their wedding day, and then they just go a little bit too far and get tan lines that are really hard to cover up on the day. When you are burnt on your face, it is really challenging to cover with makeup. Another thing I would not do is if you have any breakouts, do not pick them. That can be really detrimental to the overall look of your makeup that day. You want to try to find ways to calm the irritation. And I know that can be hard when you're stressed out, but I would say those top two things are things that I would definitely steer clear from.
When speaking with some of my brides, I've asked them about their skincare regime, and here's some of the things that I've deduced from those conversations. They want unblemished skin, supple lips, bright eyes, and smooth to the touch skin. Can you get all four of those at the same time?
I really think you can. I think if you discover products that work really well for your skin type, I think if you put in the work, it's just like anything. You do have to show your skin and your face that attention that it deserves prior to your wedding day. Sometimes it does take a lot of work for certain skin types to figure out the right sort of cocktail of ingredients that they should be using on their skin. But I do think it's possible. I think getting enough sleep is really important. Trying to de-stress in any way that you can. Obviously having eye drops the morning of the wedding to get rid of any sort of redness that you might have from potentially shedding a few tears the night before. If happy tears, I will say. I think it's possible.
What was the catalyst for you to develop a skincare line and subsequently launch it during a pandemic?
That's a very, very good question. You know what? I think the timing worked really well for us because we started our cosmetic line right before COVID hit, so a few months before, and I'm just so tremendously grateful that we did because, to be transparent, it really did save our brand. We were primarily a service-based business. We do about 500 weddings a year nationwide and, have a substantial roster of artists that complete those weddings each year for us. And that completely came to a halt. So our community really was the inspiration for both our cosmetic line and our skincare line. And we have so much gratitude for them in our hearts because they really carried us through. They showed excitement for us to develop products for them. Once they got the products in their hands, I think they felt emotionally attached to those products. Also, they felt that they performed really well for them too. And then from there, after launching, a multitude of cosmetic options for them, they really expressed to us that it was time and that they really needed and wanted something that worked extremely well for their skin. And our inspiration behind it was we wanted to create an inclusive skincare line, a timeless skincare line, an ageless skincare line. We wanted to simplify the beauty routine, and we wanted it to be driven by education, but also make it feel approachable and affordable at the same time, keeping it in the premium beauty space.
Based on skin types, is there a scale used for best product results, meaning oily to dry skin? What would be the best products for those individuals to use based on what you offer?
We formulated this with that in mind. We really discovered over the years, we've been doing this for 16 years, ingredients that work on every skin type and every skin tone and every age. And we wanted to create something that would truly work for everybody, whether that is dry skin, dehydrated skin, oily skin, acneic skin. So with our products, it kind of just removes the guesswork of, will this work for me? Because the answer is yes. And we're so excited to see people's lives changed by these ingredients and by these products and how they work.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for being able to be on the show, and congratulations on the launch of your new skincare line. I know that your office is just buzzing with so much enthusiasm, so kudos to you and your team.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for that wonderful, feedback, and I'm so excited for everyone to try it.
How can listeners find out more about Fancy Face products and services?
I think the best way to do that is to go to fancyface.com, and you can also go to Fancy Face Inc. on Instagram as well, and we are very engaged with our supporters on that platform. You can always DM us, send us a selfie if you want some beauty recommendations, and we would love to hear from you.
Thanks for listening to Busy Bride 101, wedding planning tips for the bride on the go. To keep up with us and learn more tips, follow us on Instagram and on our YouTube channel at Busy Bride 101. Subscribe to get notified of new episodes and to share with your friends. Always remember, your wedding is for the two of you.